something, and once you create a codex, you can translate what the spiritual information is to the people who don't understand spiritual things because they stuck in the left brain. This is why everybody's right-handed, because most of our left brains are turned off. I mean, our right brains is turned off. And the left-handed people come in right brain dominant. That means they mother line dominant. And this is why they always try to force left-handed people to write right-handed. The side effect, they didn't anticipate that sometimes the left-handed person becomes ambidextrous, which makes them predisposed to develop a spiritual balance that other people don't have by being forced to write with their right hand to use their left brain. So you forcing the synchronization between abstract um, information and linear logic, right? And now they be finding the balance in the two. And if they take on spiritual concepts, they able to intellectualize them and artistically understand them at the same time. And that right there allows them to be able to generally go further than other people in the same field. Okay, I want to do some more Q&As, but it's not letting me access nobody on it's not letting me access nobody on on this video. So I'm gonna end this. I got about oh yeah. So I got about another hour worth of power on here. So I'm gonna end this here, then I'm gonna reboot back up for the part two. All right. So if y'all want to watch the part two, I'm about to reboot back up. But that's so other people can come on. And if I didn't answer your question in the question box, just re-ask it and we'll try to get it in the next one.
Wait until we get to 500. So I'll kind of like chat with Rod a little bit. So, and also hold on, Rod, let me add something too. So everybody check on in. Now, Rod, I always ask you questions, personal questions, because I was like, because everybody kind of knows you, but some people don't. But I always ask, like, because you've been really inspirational as far as bringing a lot of information regarding the records about our indigenous heritage here in the Americas. A lot of the information as far as like, I mean, politically, you have a lot of the archives of how politically our countries have been set up and how that affects us. So I wanted to ask a question because we're not going on the topic until we get to 500, but I'm going to kick it in and say, Rod, like what kind of brought you to this, to social media? How about that? Like what brought you here? Like, how did you kind of come to coming on YouTube, speaking to the people? Like what incentivized you to do that?
I has had a wealth of information and I needed an outlet. And the path of least resistance to reach the most people, right, is social media.
Yes.
Because people come across your content. I started on Facebook, right? I started making posts first, and people couldn't really understand the post because it was too much symbolism in it, in the
Mm-hmm.
pictures and all that. They don't know how to translate symbolism into the common language. So a lot of my early posts was to give the common language and then show the symbolism that represented it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it became a path of least resistance following the course of energy,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it was also based on my mama kept telling me, don't talk to the people, talk to the wind,
How about that?
right? It's based out of a book in Daniel, The Valley of the Bones. Yeah. You wasting your time talking to the bones. So
Mm.
tell Daniel, turn around and speak to the wind, and the wind
Carries the
will
message.
will wake the bones, right? So the wind is the symbolic representation of the airwaves, right?
Yes.
Before TV and all that, the airwaves meant talking to the trees, talking to the animals.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody somewhere else will pick your message up by the response that the local animals give to the animals you spoke to. That was part of totem magic,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Well, we lost so much of that modern airwaves now because the same way that the frequency traveled through the animal network is the same way it traveled through the computer network, the
Mm-hmm.
radio network, or the television network.
Mm-hmm.
My opportunity to get the message out by radio, which is musically, that window closed because I did 16 years of isolation in prison.
Yeah.
So that window closed. Don't nobody want to hear what no 40-year-old rapper just getting out the joint got to say.
Well, I would have, but not everybody.
But for it to have this effective reach, then I
Right.
knew there was no way I'm finna go to Hollywood and try to be an actor and tell it in satire and theater.
No.
So that's just not gonna happen, right? So my other opportunity was the computer network.
Mm-hmm.
And when you realize how many people around the world have computers,
Yeah.
that changes the reach, the scope, and the spectrum. And it
Yeah.
also ties back to when we speak out in the public, we putting our information in the public domain.
Mm-hmm.
And that also is a public notice to the system. As we go through the steps of how the system is set up in fraud and how they impose their admiralty jurisdiction on the land, we have
Mm-hmm.
territorial rights,
Yes.
right? They have squatter rights and salvage rights.
Mm.
But we telling them our land is only spoiled because you're here. They telling us we got to stay here because your land is spoiled.
Mm.
So we have to reverse engineer everything to get back to where we was in 1491,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's so many people on social media and in a religious world that believe in somebody called a Hebrew, a chosen people of God, chosen above all other people. And they got to
What
wait till
what
God
God?
come back in order to get them a homeland.
What God though? Or what
Right.
demon?
This is the whole point I'm making. It's
Uh-huh.
the paradigm. All of these cities in America that's named after biblical names was
Mm.
named after 1492.
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
But now you have people that's using the Bible as the reference point to prove that these cities that's named after cities in the Bible are ancient cities. They ancient cities, but they're not
Mm-hmm.
them names,
No. No.
right?
You.
But
Yeah.
the reason why it become effective in utilizing it, because that was the poison they dosed us with.
Mm-hmm.
So as we detox from the poison, we're going to make everything apply somewhere else until it makes sense to us,
Yeah.
right? So now we have to go through the understanding of how do you get the most tribes on the land access to the information. And the smartest avenue was social media.
Yes. Yeah. The World Wide Web.
Yeah.
You touch all
And
these different
besides,
lines. Yeah.
yeah.
You
Because I
open.
didn't have people call me from some of the strangest places in the world, a couple countries I'd never heard of.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Isn't that awesome though? Like to have
Yeah.
that kind of reach? Yeah.
Yeah.
Consciousness, we always thought of consciousness as being limited to the space or the influence that we had just locally. And it's expanded, globally. And, you can even say etherically or, or astrally, because from what I understand from people who are quite sensitive in the ethereal realms is that the things that we speak of here, speak, is reverberated in the different dimensions and the astral plane. So it's felt and translated and kind of kicked out into space. So what we do and what we say affects all different realms and all dimensions. It's all heard, or acknowledged. Yeah.
So
So,
one of the things they have us under the false pretense is that we the only ones struggling to overcome a colonizer.
no, we're not.
But I had people call from Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
from Tonga, from Samoa, from New Zealand, from Australia. We all fighting the same fight to overcome the colonizer everywhere they didn't call me from.
Well,
And
we call
many
it
of them,
colonizers. Yeah.
yeah, and many of them ask, what are they supposed to do? I say, go back to your elders and use your tribal tradition, your tribal oral tradition to overthrow the paperwork of the colonizer. Because you was
Mm.
there first. So your tribal tradition is the law of the land that overrides the admiralty jurisdiction if your people stick to it.
Yes.
When they first come with it, they be like, that shit ain't gonna work. It didn't work for our ancestors. Yes, it did. They stopped using it.
Yeah. My grandmother said the reason why we have Tornado Alley on the land is because that's the ancestors kicking off the infiltrators. And it happens commonly as a way to kick up the energy to kind of clear the land. That's what she said. She said, that's just clearing the space for those who aren't from there. So that's the way the energies kind of work. And that's ancestral energy, she used to say. It's the ancestors' energy kind of using the wind and the elementals to clear the land. Yeah. That's why usually
You
on a
know, it's
lot
a goddess named Hurricane.
wait, say it again?
It's a goddess named Hurricane.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You always teach me things. I didn't know that. That's like a fun fact.
It was a goddess of the winds. They called her Hurricane. But
Maybe that's why.
it's the difference in the spelling is the only reason it don't come up when you do a Google search.
Yeah.
But if you put goddess Hurricane in front of it, put
Yeah.
goddess in front of it, it'll pull all her information up.
So interesting. So my grandmother had some legitimacy to that kind of, she said it was the ancestors doing that. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
same thing Garvey said. That's why he said, look for me in the whirlwind. I'll come back with the
Mm,
hundreds of thousands of ancestors.
mm. Yes, yes. And also, you look at a lot of the different reservations, and some of them are really, some are dilapidated and not really thriving or evolving. And if they were living on the land of their ancestors, that wouldn't be the case. They would still be thriving. It doesn't matter if it's a concentrated space. So it speaks to
They don't know
placeholders.
how to live off the fat of the land. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
So
Yep.
it's another thing too. The government, the ones who live in the lap of luxury, and the first
Mhm.
ones with the casinos were the ones who struck deals with the government. The
Mm.
impoverished reservations, the ones who are prosperous, is barred from giving aid and assistance to them.
Oh, what?
Yes, if they give aid and assistance to them, they'll be declared an enemy of the state, and they will be raided by the federal government, and their casinos shut down for violating the what's the it's a sovereignty clause that the Supreme Court rules over the reservations. So when they get permission to set up their casinos,
Yeah.
right, one of the stipulations is they can't offer aid and assistance to other tribes across the land. But it's
That's
no
insane.
different from the athlete contract
Yeah.
and the
I was just
celebrity
gonna say it.
contract,
Yes, yes. They can't
where
go. Yep. Go ahead.
like for instance, Michael Jordan just got from under his contract,
Mm.
and the first thing he did was went and helped some disaster relief down south.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? We know that if he violated his code, they'd kill his daddy because they did it.
Hmm. Wow.
So he had to wait out the duration of his contract, and he couldn't help us. And then he was hesitant about who to try to help because he knew firsthand from personal experience that the enemy ain't paleface.
Mm, certainly not. Yeah.
So he tried to avoid um, people that was in the business arena that looked like us
Mhm.
because a lot of the times they either handlers got handlers that's them people or they them people themselves.
Mm, 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 mm. It makes sense. It makes sense why even when they do adoptions, you ever notice like the celebrities will do adoptions, they won't adopt brown children from the United States. They'll adopt children from abroad, African children from abroad. That you can
Mm-hmm.
tell there's a contract because it's all uniformed in their behavior. If we had all the athletes, all the actors, everyone who had this high amount of wealth take care so-called the very few brown people, we wouldn't be in the state of the social conditions that is happening in the United States. But
But
obviously it was
they didn't
understood.
have them stipulations into their contracts until they started having multi-million-dollar contracts.
That's right. That's right.
They even put it on singers too.
Yep.
It'd be part of
Yes.
their 360 deal.
Hmm. You could
They'd
tell.
be barred from doing community work in the community you from.
Yeah. Because you never see them do any development in their neighborhoods. It used to be back in the days. I will say, like maybe like in the 80s, I used to see it because I grew up next to Denzel's mom, Washington's mom, and he built up our boys and girls clubs in Mount Vernon. And he used to always come and like do more like upkeep. We'd have like big gatherings. It was a big deal, but it stopped after a while. I think that's the last time I really saw it like firsthand. And it
Mm-hmm.
was like in the 80s. You know what I mean?
So once you get to a certain economic bracket, like Bill Cosby was one of the largest contributors to the United Negro College Fund.
Yes,
Bill
yes, yes.
Cosby sent more people to out of our
College.
community to college
Hmm.
than our community sent on its own.
I remember that. Wow.
See,
I
we
forgot.
don't know what the whole Cosby case was about. We
Tell
don't
us.
remember 70s culture, popping quaaludes,
Mm,
right? We didn't know that that was like a common practice of the era to exchange quaaludes for sexual favor.
that's right. It was part of the culture back then.
Yeah. So why would he have to sneak them in somebody's drink? That's an
Mm,
afterthought.
mm.
That's an afterthought. They came up with that after the fact.
Wow.
And then when the case they unsealed, he literally said I exchanged drugs, pills for a sexual favor.
Hmm. That's
That's
so
what they
important.
use as the evidence to show him slipping Mickey's in the drink because he said he admitted that he had exchanged pills for a sexual favor, but they didn't never show it until later on when they came up with the case. But they had
Hmm.
been been at Cosby head for years. Remember, they killed his son for trying to buy NBC,
That's right. Yeah.
right? And then they leveraged buyout Mr. Johnson for BET.
Mm.
And so he was doing good business and to the point where he let them get too much control and interest in his company, and then they leveraged him for the buyout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So once they leverage him for the buyout, he take what he can take and get, and it's damn near as much as NBC was going for. He got he got what was it, $3 billion for BET, and they were selling at the time Cosby was trying to buy NBC. I think it was $5 billion.
Wow.
Right? So all this stuff is going on, but what got Cosby in trouble when he spoke on the secret code and said in the public speech, we not upholding our end of the bargain. We not teaching our children properly.
Yes, he did. Yes. Yes. I forgot. Yes. He was complaining about what was going on, like the influence that the music was having, how it was influencing negatively the youth. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, then he turned around. Oprah invited him on her show,
Mm.
and he was wearing shades on the show. That's cold. Ain't no. Why are you wearing sunglasses in Oprah's studio? You got to think about that. Then he doubled down and explained it, but don't nobody know what he's talking about unless they've read the George Washington Challenge about them miseducating us and us not never finding out who we are, where we from.
Mm.
Now he didn't expose half of the plot. That's why he was sending so many of us to university to get higher education to learn how to do research.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Right? Because you got to remember, in 1900, only 1% of the world's population is literate.
Hmm.
Everybody in that 1% is part of a society that allowed them to read.
Occultists. Yeah, brotherhoodship. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was illegal
And
to read as well. Yeah.
for us,
Hmm.
look, it was illegal for us to read. It's illegal for anybody to do business with us in any form. Nobody can bank for us. This is why we was having our own banks.
That's
But
right.
they needed to shut our banks down to undermine the value of our currency in order to institute a false currency.
And make us socially conditioned to be codependent on their system. Yeah.
Right. Now, if you study the Panthers and you study what they call gangs, you'll find out that they only was demonized because they was doing stuff for the community the government wasn't doing.
Yes, feeding the
And
children.
so the
My mom was
government
there.
shut them down
Yeah.
and say, you can't do it. We have to do it for you.
Hmm. Hmm. And then they started doing school lunches and breakfasts and adding that. I don't think that was in until after they shut down the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been instituted after.
I think toward the tail end of shutting the Panthers down, they were starting up school breakfast programs.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. But they couldn't cut the Panthers off before they started the version.
Mm.
Seamless transition. That's what they call it.
Yeah. So no one really feels it and they don't fight against it.
It's the
Softens
same
the
with
blow.
it's the same with EMTs. The
Oh,
original ambulance was us. Because we couldn't get to the hospital
oh, that's
for
right.
medical care. So a group, some brothers and sisters from the land decided to create the ambulance and EMT, emergency medical transport.
That is clever.
So the government shut
Right.
them down and opened up the organized EMT you see today based on their model.
They're just a bunch of they're just a bunch of copycats stealing
Yeah.
everything.
They have to let us do it first because they don't know how to do shit.
But they wouldn't even know it existed until it was created first. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't know, like, for instance, vocational schools in the hood used to be trade schools in the traditional education, but
Yes, it
they was
was.
taking the trades out of the schools that we went to.
Yeah. Because all the boys in
So
my
now
school,
we're not getting
yeah.
skilled trades. And
You remember that. Yeah.
yeah. So now you have people like Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover and David Barksdale, and they trying to put vocational programs to teach skilled trades in the inner city of Chicago because skilled trades is the gateway from poverty to wealth.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. We had auto mechanic shop in my school. We had home economics. I loved it. We learned how to sew, cook, everything you could take. They had the electric room where you learned how to do basic electric, like the basic wiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was free. It was free in high school.
It's
For
part of the
those who don't
curriculum.
know. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's at the same time they was extracting critical thinking from out of the curriculum too.
Absolutely. Put one
Now,
in,
if you
right
want your
there.
child to have critical thinking, practical problem solving, you got to take them out where the rich kids go to school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And they just so still happen to have skilled trades.
Mm-hmm. Sure. And they work on core self-esteem in private schools first. They don't really do curriculum with the little ones. They build their self-esteem first. So that's how the wealthier schools or the private schools kind of work with the children. That's why you see when they come out of school, they're like leaders. They're unrelenting. They have a lot of strong self-esteem. It's purposefully done because they're not building worker bees. They're building leaders while the regular schools are building slaves, chattel
Yeah.
slaves.
It just comes from a German model.
Hmm.
Is Vorstellung, Ruhestellung, and academia. Vorstellung is false schooling.
Hmm.
Ruhestellung is real schooling. Academia is where you train innovators and leaders.
Yes. Yeah. Even
Management is taught in real schooling.
uh
They teach you how to effectively get orders to the ones that went to Vorstellung.
hmm. Fun fact show. Write this down. I hope the little ones are listening. Where's our youngins? Stay in the room. Rod is in the class. You know what I'm saying? Professor Rod, get in here. Make them sit down and listen. It's very important. This is you're teaching some things to myself that I didn't know. And it's interesting that we act as if the educational system is new, but under the colonizing concept it is. But in ancient times, where we're ancient societies, we're talking about that ancient societies, where we had the Tartarian societies, we see remnants of, you know, not only just architecture that supersedes anything that we see that can be created under this so-called modern day time, but just remnants of communication or even linguistics that supersedes anything that's being taught in this society. What say you of the Tartarian societies that I don't think I was ever taught that. I learned that after the fact, that Tartarian societies existed. The buildings that we see that were built long before those who came in and claimed it and squatted on the land came in, claimed it as their own. These societies had higher technology, higher minded, and many of those societies, if not all, were melanated.
Well, you gotta remember the most of that stuff. First of all, the word Tartaria means west of Rome.
Mm,
Okay, now that's important because the orientation to determine what and where Tartaria is predicated upon Roman thought.
mm,
The place that the Romans are referring to is Tartarus that you can read about in the book of Enoch.
yes, yes.
Tartarus was a major metropolis in Atlantis. Um, Tartarus is the landmass that's under the ice of Antarctica,
Mm,
right? Everything there was flash frozen in an instant, right? And when that happened, everything under the ice was covered and kept intact.
woo! Go ahead, Rod. I have an addition later to this. Yeah, yes.
Okay, now that that ice has been there for some thousands of years, about 10 to roughly that thick. It was following what was known as a pyramid war. And it was part of them crashing the fourth dimension into the third dimension that will require us to need sleep.
Mm,
They done that by opening up a collider like CERN. Uh,
yes.
they
Hadron collider.
spent particles around until they opened up a portal between third and fourth dimension
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and put massive explosions in there and shut it so that it'll collapse like a spring being stuck in a spot. And that's how you create an infinity loop.
something like
So they
what we're.
put us in an infinity loop
Yes.
using technology and spirit science at the same time.
Mm.
Now, because we hit the Mahertza for the first time and flipping through this infinity loop, we moving into the fifth dimension, right? So this goes from the age of Aquarius, where everything is about believing it, whether it's true or not, you just believe it. Or we go into Aquarius, the age of knowing, where our heads are no longer underwater,
Mm-hmm.
thanks
Mm-hmm.
to the water bearer,
Or the
right?
later.
Dumping the water out of the vessel,
Yeah.
right?
It could be the
And
firmament
so,
falling down, melting. Yeah.
right, symbolic of spiritual anointing,
Yes.
right? Because water is the physical representation of spirit.
That's right.
If you understand water and how it operates, it allows you to understand how spirit operates. The same way you can program the spirit to manifest your best life, you can also program the water to show in its frozen crystals what you was thinking about when you was manifesting.
That's right. And geometrical shapes and patterns.
Yeah. So Tartarus is what they make in reference to when they say Tartaria, but in the larger scope, it's everything west of Rome, Italy.
Interesting. That reminds me of the Matrix when I talked about Zion. That could be a concept of Zion, perhaps, like TARDIS. That maybe that's the reference because it's supposed to be under, like when the Nebuchadnezzar was under the bowels of the city. It's under
Mm.
the waterways. Interesting.
Okay, now the word Zion, remember, that's a biblical reference.
Yes.
It's a mountain called Sinai.
Yes.
The word Zion came about in the Semitic word Sion being translated into the non-Semitic speaking languages of Europe, where the
Yes.
S and the Z is interchangeable.
Yes. Yes.
Mount Sion is the mount of sin. Sinai means seeing AI, artificial intelligence, the
Mm.
seeing of artificial intelligence. And it ties back to what we call seeing rights. The seeing rights is written by the god of the Middle East named Sin. So this is why they say everybody is a sinner. Because you
It's
follow in the
literal.
seeing rights if you participate in Babylonian blood magic, Babylonian money magic, and Babylonian sex magic.
Ah.
Now, the three types of magic under the god Sin, whose name is Ninursin, right?
Knitter, like N-I.
Ninur hyphen
Yeah.
Sin, Sin.
Knitterson. Okay.
He's one of the sons of Enlil, who was fighting with the sons of Enki for control of the earth,
That's right.
right? Now, he got a brother named Murdoch, named after Enki's son, Marduk,
Marduk. Yeah.
because the goal is to replace Enki's seed as the rightful heirs with Enlil's seed as the interloper. So he changed the name of his son. Ninursin is named Ninursin because when we looking back on Semitic languages, it's similar to Ninigazita. Ninigazita is the son of Inanna, and he was
Anana.
raised by Enki.
Interesting.
That's your Loki story. The ice
Interesting.
princess, the ice princess married the king of Olympus, but she already had the son Loki. But don't nobody know who Loki daddy is
No.
because he was born through parthenogenesis, which takes us to your Bible story. Emmanuel would be Loki, and Jesus would be the Ice Princess or Isis, because in Greek,
Um,
Jesus is Isis. In the
yes,
Greek
yes,
language, Jesus is Isis,
yes.
right? The grand matriarch of the earth. The daughters of Isis is represented by different names according to the region that they was occupying
Mhm.
as their great mother. So it's 13 great mothers, the 12 daughters of Isis,
Right.
right? Each spread in this using the zodiac wheel as the template to overlay the earth in order to divide it up into 12 regions, the center being 13.
Mm,
Center is representative of the sacerdotal seat of the Great Mother, who's at one time she was referred to by the name Vatica. But when she got usurped, you never knew that they kept her name and called it the Vatican, where Big Mama's seat was usurped by Rome. So the seat that they telling you is St. Peter's seat in the Vatican is not St. Peter's seat. That's not St. Peter's seat is in another part of Europe altogether. And if you look at the Pope's seat, it sits under the huge Big Mama seat.
yes, yes. He
Make
can't.
no
It's a
mistake
bigger
about it,
version.
we know who the usurper is now.
Mm,
Now, biblically speaking, the term for putting the Pope's seat under Big Mama's seat is Jacobin. Jacobin in English is Jacobin. Jacob,
yes,
Yakub, the
yes.
supplanter, the underminer. You can't stop Big Mama from sitting on her seat, right? But you can stand there and make it difficult to get to it.
You could block her from getting to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the Jesus story is 2,000 years old. Jesus in Greek is Isis. The New Testament was not written in Hebrew. The New Testament originally was written in Greek by Josephus Flavius, based off the philosophy of the first century philosopher named Origen, in order to give you an origin story.
You know, Rod, let me just give you a little compliment, okay? Just take it. Just take it. You're like a god. You're like your Earth arcade, like like the archives of like a god of archives. Like you're like a walking ancestral, like just you like you got everything access. Where do you say you're from Earth? You won't come with me to space, so I guess you are from here. You know what I mean? I just want to give you a compliment. Keep going.
Okay, now the sacerdotal seat of the mother is how you win the game called Earth.
Mm,
But you have to play through the secret societies. It's not that
yes,
the society is secret. The part that they playing in the puzzle is the secret. Or else you wouldn't know what a Mason is. You would have never heard of it if it was a secret.
that's right.
You wouldn't know what a Shriner is if it was a secret. Or
Yeah,
Rosicrucian.
yeah,
You wouldn't know what they is if it was a secret. You wouldn't have access to their materials if it was a secret. And the materials tell you everything I'm telling you now in the secret societies, but it's scattered out. It's a scrambled egg, and everybody can't put the scrambled egg back together.
it isn't a picture until all pieces are placed in the right order. So it don't matter if you
So
have
when
two
I
or three pieces. Yeah,
remember, I told you my mom was training me since I was little, right? She had me putting puzzles together at 2 years old.
that's a good mama. That's right.
And, and every birthday and every Christmas, I used to get a bag of Army Men and a pack of Hot Wheel cars.
Love it. Love it.
So the definition for the Hot Wheel cars came in when I was a little bit older in a movie called A Cannonball Run.
Yes, yes, you remember that? That was the bomb. Oh my God. I didn't remember until you just said it. Oh, that was the bomb. Oh my God. Me and my dad watched it together.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, now what is a Cannonball Run about? It's a great scavenger hunt.
Yes, yes. We gotta watch that. Hold on, Rod. Don't watch it. We gotta watch that. Oh my God. Like I totally forgot. Okay, go ahead, Rod.
Okay, it's a scavenger hunt where you got to collect all of the pieces
Yes.
and then
Oh
meet
my
at the final
God.
destination.
Yes. Yes. This is the video game we're in. Yes. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
now watch
I'm
this.
geeking out. I'm geeking. I'm geeking.
Now, while you driving these Hot Wheels on this Cannonball Run, you
Yeah.
need somebody to run interference from Smokey and the
Yeah,
Bandit.
that's right. Yes.
Right now, the thing about the Bandit is he's keeping the police distracted where the trucks can get through
Oh, I can't believe
in
you
a
remember that.
convoy. Remember that movie, The
Yes.
Convoy, 10-4 Rubber
Yes.
Ducky?
Oh my
Right?
God.
Trucker lingo is
They got
code
that one.
talk,
Yeah. Yes. The walkie-talkies. Breaker,
CBs,
breaker.
CB radios,
Yes, right. I love it.
right?
Breaker, breaker, one,
And
two. Breaker, breaker, breaker.
so, yeah. So when I start putting all of these pieces together, I start coming out with a bigger and bigger picture.
Yeah.
Now I just got to zoom in and try to find out how can I get a reference to what this piece means so
Yeah.
people will know what the hell I'm talking about when I show it to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Context. Oh, we need the context.
Hey,
You got my
look,
mind.
remember I told you I was 777, right?
You did.
There's
You
one more
did.
toy she used to get me. It's called 21 Monkeys.
Wait a second. I think I know what that is. Wait. I think my big brother had that. Wait, what is it? Wait. What
It's a
was it?
game where the monkeys is in the barrel. It's 21 monkeys.
Yes, yes.
And you
My
got to
brother.
take them and hook the one, then hook another one until you and string all 21 together.
We had crazy games. That's crazy. That's why you think the way you think. That's why
7 plus 7 plus 7 equal what?
that's 49. 49 by 7. What is it?
21.
7 plus 7 times 7, 7, 7.
No,
Oh,
no, 7 plus 7 plus 7. That's 3
okay,
times
7
7.
plus 7 plus 7. Okay, yeah.
Right. So the 21 monkeys is a knock to the monkey.
That's
That if
you.
you,
It's a game.
right. And my mama, I got a memory being when my mom was pregnant, she told my daddy, that boy in there jumping around like a monkey.
Did she really say it? Did she really say that? So
Mhm.
you had that monkey energy right before, even before you came.
Look, so I asked my mom about it when I was about 4 years old. She said, "You remember that?" I said, "Yeah, I remember it like everything else." And
Yeah.
she said, "Baby, you can't tell nobody that. They gonna lock you up, put you in a mental institution. You tell somebody you remember what happened in the womb." So I shut up,
You
but I
knew.
remembered it.
Yeah. You didn't have the veil on. That's why you are who you are today. You didn't have that
Now here
veil.
go the irony to that. My sister that was born right after me,
Yeah.
she was born with a veil.
Right after you. So they made sure they inserted, they were like, we can't have another one of these coming out of this womb. They were like, nah, we're gonna put a veil on her. How
They
is she?
tried to they tried to poison my mama when I was born.
I know they did. They would have known you were coming. They would have definitely known you were coming.
Yeah, all you gotta do is watch the stars. You know when somebody coming.
It
And some
makes it,
strange shit
yeah.
happened on the day I was born.
Tell us, Rod.
It's stellar alignments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
That
stellar
would make sense.
alignments. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was some extra stuff going on in the stars.
Because energetically, you would have only been able to come through a certain kind of frequency and vibratory frequency. Yeah.
And I, and then this is what they call knowing the geography, because if you know the geography, then you know where they're coming, because the
Hmm.
stars is aligning to a frequency. So we know somebody coming in the month of November. You know they coming in on the 10th day,
Hmm.
right? And you know that based on the geography, they have to be born here. See, where
Yeah.
Cook County Hospital was, where I was born at,
Yeah.
that's an ancient grand doula center from way before Columbus and them ever came. It was the training university for doulas for thousands of years.
So you had to be born on a ley line, specific ley line.
Look at Cook County Hospital and you'll see if the ley lines is there.
I'm
I was born
a
at Cook County Hospital.
a soul like you. You've seen movies, the references of like Damien, like they always know the time. Damien, ho ho, Damien. That was a freaking. Remember that song? Like if I want to freak out my family, I'll play that in the house. Oh, oh, Damien. You know, like
You know that's Obama's story.
oh, I believe what?
So it's a series of movies that's don't seem like they related, but
Oh
they
yeah.
all telling you the Obama story. They didn't even come out in order. The first one came out was called Rosemary's Baby.
Ooh, ooh.
Then the Demon Seed came out after the Omen.
I
So
got the
in the
Demon Sea. Yeah, Demon Sea was the bomb. Everybody got to watch that. You youngins, you got to get up on that. Yes.
so that was technology, which is the
Giving birth
cloning
to itself.
process,
Yep. Yep.
right? So
Smart house, a
the
smart house before there were smart houses. Yes.
yeah. So
Yeah.
now the technology is cloning, but we don't know what it is. But they use the computer in the
Mm,
movie
yep.
to emphasize the technologically advanced method of reproduction.
By artificial insemination of
Right.
a
Now,
Borg. Yeah.
they told us that when Hitler moved to Venezuela, he started a program called Boys from Brazil.
That's right. If you watch the movies, the cloning process. Cloning
And
process.
they
Yeah.
and they telling us that they cloned 50 versions of Adolf Hitler.
Hitler. Yeah. Good movie.
It
Another
wasn't
movie, y'all.
it wasn't Hitler that they was cloning, it was Akhenaten.
Which is Obama, because that's who he's
Yeah,
referenced to be. I
right.
love how they do the bait and switch,
The
y'all.
reason why they clone Akhenaten is to try to override the return of King Tut,
Mm,
which is Tupac.
interesting.
So they're gonna pull rank on the heir in order to try to put an elder over him in rank.
So that he wouldn't have the same position of power.
Right. So the put the movies in their proper order is the Boys from Brazil, Demon Seed, Rosemary Baby, then the Omen, 1, 2, and 3.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because then we see the president, a child come in from a senator's mother and father. Yeah.
Yeah. So he is your quintessential antichrist because he would be an interloper usurper to the throne of the sun.
Yeah.
So they figure if they clone the father, it'll take away the reign of King Tut. He won't get a chance to rule. The boy king will never see the throne. And that's why Obama tried to sell us out. The Pope told him to stand down. He tried to go and do a backdoor deal with the same way they did the Treaty of Peace and Friendship with the Dirty Moors.
Mm.
Because that's what he was created to do.
You just blew my mind. Now everything makes sense. It's the bait and switch. It's giving us aspects of the truth, but not putting it in the right context. So we're thinking it's a replication of Hitler, but really the ones who lead this realm are black, like Norman said, the black beings, because they worship the Dark Lords. I mean, people don't realize we looking for the Lunars, the white people doing it, but it's not them. We always look to that. Comes to, oh, poor Obama, look how they treat him. But then I remember a guy saying, "Yo, Obama's the one ruling everything." They used to say that he was the one in what's his name, wearing the suits for the pooping president. The one that's, where'd he go?
Oh, for Sleepy Joe?
Yeah. They were saying he was up in there because when he had a little pep in his step, they'd be like, "Oh, that's Obama. That's Obama in that suit."
Well, they had like 7, 8 different actors playing me.
We could have got a role too. I'm a little chunky for that. I'd be all rolling all over.
Now look, all this time we've been hearing Trump say he's central casting, she's central casting, I'm central casting. They're all central casting in here, and we don't even know what he's talking about.
Dag. Yeah, he was being
He
literal.
was telling us they actors the whole time because remember they gave out the subpoenas for the tribunals at the old man funeral.
Oh, I heard about that.
And there was a note attached to it. And the note read, "They know everything."
Mm.
And it was signed by the old man.
Remember the
He was the highest ranked shield member of the Illuminati on the land. Skull and Bones, pirates.
What?
He got his position by assassinating JFK. His JFK Jr. told on him with George Magazine and all of the codes that's all over the cover of every magazine. So now everybody in secret intelligence know who the old man is, what he did, and who helped him. Based on the articles that was in the magazine with the codes in the articles. The whole magazine was coded cover to cover. But the regular people don't know the code, so we would have never figured it out. We thought George was just a great magazine.
Yeah.
Just like we thought they killed JFK Jr.
Yeah.
Then they don't like to tell us that there was never any bodies recovered. They came back later and say they covered some body fragments. But there was no people recovered from the JFK crash, JFK Jr. plane crash.
Wow.
And him and his wife was known to go parachuting.
We could ask if Kobe died then too. That's another one that might be a conspiracy.
Well, the only curiosity I see in the Kobe Bryant is I seen the live footage on 5 different news channels. And it was a different helicopter every time.
Yes. Yeah.
And most people didn't notice it. Not only a different helicopter, but a different terrain.
Yeah, and the crash looked different. There was a different crash, the way it crashed. They showed it different angles and it wasn't the same.
No.
Yeah.
It was 5 different crashes that was supposed to be a live footage of Kobe crashing. But my thing is how come this helicopter keep changing color, size, and shape?
We want to
and nobody's asking no questions.
Yeah.
And how you got one crash on a grassy hill, one on a flat terrain, got one on concrete, one in the LA what they call aqueduct. This just doesn't make sense to me. It's too many.
It's a comedy show, Rod. It's a comedy show. I mean, you would have to have some critical thinking skills and some common sense to know that that was some shenanigans going on.
You ever looked at Aaliyah's crash site?
No, that to me it didn't look real.
You didn't even know. Did you notice all of them trails around the plane? Do you know how long it take to walk grass down into a dirt trail?
No.
Months. Months. There was a crash site training for putting out fires on planes or for rescue missions on falling airplanes. That wasn't a real crash site.
Rod, you're starting to sound like a conspirator. You're starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist, Rod.
I'm not talking theories. I'm talking about go look for yourself and figure out what I'm talking about. Look,
Yo,
the
this
only way you can extract somebody is if you confirm that there's an assassination on their life.
mm,
Remember, yeah, a lot of people don't remember this. Dame Dash got in a car accident not even a week before Leah's plane
that's right.
crashed.
Yes, yeah,
She
I
was
know that.
supposed to have been in the effing car, but she wasn't. Even Dame said Leah was supposed to be in the car, but something came up. He didn't ever say what came up,
Yeah.
but he's like, Leah was supposed to be with me when I got in my car accident.
Mm,
But something came up where she didn't go.
yeah,
Somebody thwarted the first assassination attempt. Now you got to do an extraction if you wanted to live.
yeah. And then have, the dark shot, what is her name? Sasha Fierce take over her place. Because that's really, when you get rid of one, you can put a placement of a more, limited version of her can take
Well,
over.
what did Aaliyah do to piss him off so bad? Queen of the Damned.
Wait, say it again?
Queen of the Damned.
That's right. That's
She was
right.
playing Kim Kardashian herself. Queen
Woo!
of the Damned.
She played the role. She did a good job in that one. Aaliyah
Well,
never had an acting.
she was warned not to take that role. She said they told her it was going to be dangerous if she take it, but she liked the script.
Oh, it was almost perfect for her. It was a
So
perfect issue.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the whole thing she was playing Kim Kardashian,
Mm,
the Queen of the Damned.
she is. Her and her League of Gypsies, witches, League of Gypsy witches. Yeah, doing
That's a
very
cover.
well.
You don't remember that Travis Scott situation?
Yep, yep.
That was a public humiliation divorce. Blood in, blood out, baby.
Woo! Totally
That was a
ruined his
witch's
reputation.
divorce.
Take him out. If you go and leave me,
He
um,
was not supposed to overcome the stigma attached to the deaths that happened at that event.
absolutely.
But
Wow,
because
that makes sense.
he can go on and live his life because somebody seen through the bullshit and put it out in the public domain in a timely manner, so he wouldn't have to be punished for somebody else's indiscretions.
Mm,
Now, I ain't gonna say who put it out there, but you know him.
I do. Word on the curb. Interesting. Fun facts. How we went all the way to the east after we went to the west.
To the east, my brother. To the east, my brother. To the east, my brother. To the east.
Can you imagine me and Rod at a family reunion? Be off the hook. Be doing crazy things. I'd be kicked out first, though, Rod.
Look, when I get my house, everybody gonna have to sit on the stage.
Oh, that'd be fun. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. Yeah. You gonna have your hound dogs?
Now, there might be a couple gorillas standing around.
I like that.
I don't,
Anyway,
I don't know. I don't know how friendly my dog's gonna be to strangers, so I don't.
they're not supposed to be friendly. I remember someone said that your dog's not supposed to be friendly. That's not you know what I'm saying? Don't,
Mhm.
people like, oh, make them friendly. No, that's not right. They're
My
supposed
dog
to,
disciplined. I can tell him to go sit down, but
yeah.
my dogs ain't gonna bother you unless you're on some BS anyway. You got to come in with the wrong energy.
Woo! That's good though. That's
You come
good.
in with the wrong energy, and I tell people all the time, I'm not. Don't worry about my dog biting you because if my dog biting you, I'm stomping you. Because the way I raise my dogs,
Yeah,
you got to be on. You coming in on some hot bullshit.
you don't let no reptilians will be able to sneak by your dogs, right? No reptiles. No reptiles. Go ahead.
I tell people that all the time. They think I be crazy. I ain't coming back. I just do it to them dogs. You ain't got nothing to worry about unless you on bullshit.
If you worried about it, what's the problem? The problem is
All I'm
you, sir.
saying.
The problem is you, sir. So okay, so we get into all this business about the Titarian societies, the everything being west of Rome, which is interesting that you said that. And I always say, like, when I go into South America, I always found it interesting. I wanted to ask you that. You know, it's interesting. They always say that Rome died, it collapsed, it was burned down. But when I go to South America, all of the Romans are there. It's all Italians. It's all Romans there in Argentina, in Brazil, in Venezuela, in Chile. They're all Uruguay, Paraguay. It's all Italians. And they don't tell you that when you're in North America, but when you go over, you're like, oh, where are the Portuguese? Why do the
Well,
Italians outnumber them?
yeah, but it's the same as when you go to Mexico and there's some Spaniards there that you think native
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they ain't native. And you
No.
got Asians there that you think is Mexican,
Oh no, then yeah. That's a
you
yeah.
know, they there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, we be forgetting the God's crucible, one drop of blood, make you one of us. This is why everybody want to marry into the bloodline,
Right now.
you know. And so this is what the whole purpose of the Great Migration to the Americas under the Discovery Doctrine was about. You froze, Flowburn. I don't know if you know it. Can you hear me?
Or is it me? Did I tap
Yeah,
out or you? It
you
was
had
me,
froze
right?
for a minute.
It was me. Okay. Um, I know you have a different take on the National Guards, but I would like to hear your take because I know people were telling me, but I want to hear your take on the National Guards being distributed because at first they were distributed in DC. Now, I don't even think it's DC anymore. I'm going to ask you that question as well. Is the DC taken off of Washington? Because I heard word on the curb, Rod, is that they took the DC off of Washington. So I'm going to ask you that and then ask you what your take is on why it's in 19 states and what reasoning that's for.
Okay, so um, Washington is Washington DA, the District of America.
Okay. Oh,
Okay, now remember all roads lead to Rome. Before it was
yes.
Washington D.C., it was Rome,
Yes.
right? Okay, now to overthrow Rome, you have to overthrow Washington D.C. Admiralty jurisdiction.
Interesting.
Okay, now in order to give it back to the tribes, you have to go back through the different stages of government that took you away from the tribal standard, what we call the law of the land.
So we're receding. That's what you're saying. We're receding.
Right. It's the return. So the republic has to overthrow the corporate legal fiction.
Snap.
District of Columbia was the legal fiction that was created with the secondary constitution that was written in the blood of Crispus Attucks. That was the 200-year contract. The constitution that establishes DC is in the George Washington Masonic Memorial, and the blood is fading now, along with the feathers of the dirty Moors that came over here.
Yeah.
The chiefs that they was up against is in a mural. The mural is it's a painting of Carlos V, and it got the Inca chiefs on there. Inca mean people in English,
Yes.
right? So it's got the chief of the people of the land, right? Carlos V is on there because he was the one who was wagering the bet with King George of whose side would prevail after the 200 years of miseducation and misdirection of who we were. Carlos V believed that it would be the chiefs of the land. King George, representing the 32-degree Scottish Rite, believed that his boys was untouchable in this game that they playing. Everybody got amnesia. Let's see who could figure it out from a place of pure ignorance. And so all of the representation is in place to play the great game. It's a chess game, fifth dimensional chess,
Mhm.
played in the three-dimensional reality.